everybody. Good evening. Welcome to CarnivorousGrama Speaks. I'm Robin, and this is where we cut through the noise and get to the truth about health, healing, and the carnivore way of eating. So, if you've come back, we just want to appreciate you being here. Welcome back to another episode of CarnivorousGrama Speaks. Or if it's your first time here, I would love to have you be a part of my Carnivorous Grandma community. So tonight I wanted to just come in and chat with you guys for a little bit. I have a couple of topics that I want to go over. First of all, I wanted to just talk about how February went as far as my carnivore way of eating, as well as talk a little bit about the fact that I had to take an antibiotic this week. So I'm having some cognitive dissonance around having to have had taken that. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that as well. So I'm just wondering, have you had to take an antibiotic in the last year? If you have, just drop a thumbs up in the chat. And so I've been just thinking about this, like, what could I have done differently? As around taking an antibiotic, how do I feel about taking an antibiotic? What did it do to my body and my overall health? And how do I recover from having to take this antibiotic? So first of all, I'm going to start out with just February, my February challenge, and just give you guys the update as far as how that went. February went pretty good. I actually gained 2 pounds. So in January, I lost 9 pounds on my carnivore way of eating. And in February, I gained 2 pounds. So that was the sum total of what happened through the month of February. I was doing daily fasting. I've been doing intermittent fasting every day. However, I wasn't doing as long of fasts or shortening my eating window as much as I had done in January. So I've been doing at least a 16-hour fast every single day for the last couple of months. But in February, I did a lot more of the 16-hour to 18-hour fasting. And then I did less of the 22 to 24-hour fasts this past month. So that's one thing that I did, was continued on with the fasting. I'm trying to look for my app. The app that I use is called Zero, that I use to fast with. And the Zero app is in your app store. You can use it. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'm not sure how good of a view you guys will get of this. Yeah, there it goes. So you can see that I fast every day, pretty much every day. So the nice thing about the Zero app is that it does have a paid version, but you can fast every single day for free. And so actually my fast should be on right now because I finished eating a long time ago. Hey Tara, hey Michael, welcome. So glad to see you guys here. And so, like I said, I was doing like 18, 20, 22, 24-hour fasts in January. And then in February, I slacked off a little bit and I did more closer to 16, 18. I did a couple of 20s and maybe one 24-hour fast during the month of January. And so I didn't see the benefits that I wanted to see. But also I went out to dinner and I went to Chili's restaurant. And what I ordered was, I ordered a burger. I actually ordered it with the cheese on, but then I ended up having them take the cheese off. So it was 2 burger patties, and it was bacon, and then sour cream on the side. And I eat that kind of a lot. So I wasn't expecting to have any kind of a reaction to that. I had a blood glucose spike, like over 30-point spike in my blood glucose after I ate that, because I've been wearing this CGM. And after I ate that, I gained like 3 pounds, and I really couldn't get those 3 pounds back off. It's taking time for that 3 pounds to come back off. Definitely inflammation. I'm not sure what Chili's puts in their food, but it should have been just meat and sour cream, and it turns out that it had something in it that caused a blood sugar spike. It didn't taste like, the funny thing is, it didn't taste like it had anything on it. I had brought my own Redmond real salt with me, so I put the salt on there. It didn't taste sweet. It didn't taste salty. It just tasted like a bland, plain burger with nothing on it. But clearly they do put something in it. So that was not ideal. So I want to pop this up. So Michael, welcome. Was over 500, now at 206. No way! From just 6 months on the Lion diet. Wow, that's crazy. All right, Michael, do you have a YouTube channel? If you do, drop it down in the chat. I'd like to check it out. And then Tara caught me live. Hi, Tara. So glad that you're here. All right. So, like I said, I gained a couple of pounds in the month of February. I also did my walking challenge. So I pretty much met my goals. There was one day that I did not walk the entire 14,400 steps in the month of February. And so, this month I'm trying again, and I'm intending to get my 14,400 steps every single day during this month of March. So March has just started. Yesterday, I did get my 14,400 steps, and I've set my intentions for March to really do a couple of things. One is to do my 14,400 steps every day of the month. And then the other is around food and eating. So I want to go ahead and continue to fast like I did in January. So that means I'm going to fast like 18 or more hours. So I turn my fasting app on, and I want to fast for 18 hours. And then also today I talked with I have a group, a Marco Polo group, where we're talking about doing a 24-hour fast a week. So we'll be incorporating that as well. So I'm super excited to have a community that's going to be fasting with me. So I'm excited about that. I think March is going to be a great month. And we have some very exciting things coming up in the month of March that I'll talk about in a little bit. But what my main topic is tonight, I really wanted to come in here and talk about this antibiotic. So I'm going to show you guys a picture of what happened to me and why I ended up on an antibiotic. Let me see if I can share the screen here. I got two. Yeah, here's the one that I want to share. So this is a picture of me earlier this week, and you can see that my right eye swelled up. And when it swelled up, I thought that this was like seasonal allergies. What I noticed on the day that this happened was there was a flock of robins outside in my backyard. And I'm like, okay, so spring is coming. I definitely felt some itchiness on my eyelids the night before. And when I woke up, my eye was swollen. So on Tuesday, I'm going to just show you guys another picture. On Tuesday, I called my daughter, who's a PA, and said, hey, something's going on with my eye, because it was not just swollen, but it was also quite painful. So I called her, and she gave me a prescription for an antibiotic ointment for the eye. I don't look very happy because I wasn't. And so you can see that I have this antibiotic ointment on my eye, and then also an oral antibiotic, because she said that this right here was infected. Okay. So, of course, I wanted to go ahead and do what my daughter said. I think I very much trust her and her skills as a physician's assistant. But I automatically felt like, oh my God, I don't want to take an antibiotic. Um, but I also don't want to waste her time. So I ended up going ahead and taking it. So let's talk about how antibiotics work. So antibiotics are designed to kill bacteria. The problem is they're not selective. They kill off both the bad bacteria, which are the ones causing the infection, and the good bacteria, which is the ones that we need for our digestion, immune support, and even mental clarity. So I took both an oral antibiotic and an eye ointment, and my gut bacteria definitely took a hit. So I started noticing, like, oh my God, my stomach is so upset. It was almost like I went back to my very first month on carnivore, where my gut microbiome was changing over, and I literally had diarrhea every single day for 30 days. It was like that. And my stomach was just jacked up, not feeling good at all. So my digestion was off, and I just did not feel very good after taking it. And then I noticed that I definitely noticed some dry skin with it. So have you guys ever taken an antibiotic? Please just drop a thumbs up in the chat if you've ever taken one. And like, did you have any weird symptoms after you took it? So I think what happened to me was this really affected my digestive tract. It really, really did. It makes it harder to break down the fats and proteins. And then also it's killing off all the good and bad bacteria that's in your stomach. And so, and then of course, we know that the immune system is going to be weaker after taking an antibiotic. So, that's just, I mean, and I'm not eating carbs or anything, but yet, I need to get my gut back on track, because after taking an antibiotic, I want to make sure that I get my gut biome back on track to my normal carnivore gut biome, and get those healthy bacterias growing again. So I really felt so much cognitive dissonance around taking an antibiotic. I have not taken an antibiotic for many, many years, and I really did not want to take it. I was so concerned because it was my eye. Like, oh my gosh, this is my eye. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't understand what's happening with this infection. And so I went ahead and took it. But I really feel like in the future, I might try to do some different things if I were to have an infection and need to have, something that's like an antibiotic. One of my friends mentioned to me about colloidal silver, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of colloidal silver, but it's like silver suspended in water, and silver is highly antibacterial. So I'm going to just see if I can pull up something for colloidal silvers for you guys to take a look at. It's really, really good. So I think, I mean, and I think colloidal silver is good for like, you could use it for a lot of different things. Like, you can ingest it, you can put it in your eyes, you can put it in, in your private parts if you need to, if you had a yeast infection or something like that. You could use colloidal silver for that. And I have used it in the past, but for some reason, when I was going through this issue with my eye, it never even occurred to me that I should get colloidal silver and try that first. So I'm just going to show you guys some images of what this looks like here. And so this is just I just Googled it. So these are a variety pack of all the, images for colloidal silver. But colloidal silver is really, really good for, dealing with these kinds of issues. The last time I used it was when I had um, I had candida. I had an overgrowth of candida, and my acupuncturist recommended it, and actually he was selling it at the time, so I was able to get it from him. And so that really did help with that candida overgrowth. And candida is it's like a yeast. So colloidal silver is really, really good. So I think I would definitely use that if I had to have something where I needed an antibiotic in the future. And then, of course, there are like essential oils that you can use. There's a really good one called Thieves, which the whole thing about Thieves is why they call it Thieves is it's a blend of various essential oils, but they used to put this during like the bubonic plague. These people would cover their masks with this blend of essential oils and go and rob the people who had the plague. So they called it Thieves. It's a very strong antibiotic. There's another one called Purification that I could have used, but I literally did not think of these things before I took the antibiotic. It was after I took it and started to see like what was happening with my gut that I was like, dang, I should have thought about maybe trying something natural, homeopathic before trying something. So it felt very harsh. I'll put it that way. That antibiotic felt like it was very harsh on my system. I could like taste it in my throat. I could smell it in my nose. It was just really, really strong. And so I felt like, man, next time I definitely would do some different things before I took an antibiotic. So, we want to make sure that we have good digestion um, and getting the nutrients from meat and fat. And so, because those antibiotics wipe out the gut bacteria, we experience poor digestion, nutrient absorption issues. And so that gut bacteria helps us to process our vitamins, B vitamins, iron, and fat soluble vitamins. You could experience increased cravings as your gut bacteria are wiped out. So it could trigger sugar and carb cravings. And this is interesting. When I was looking this up today, that is an interesting one because I actually did experience this. Like I had a taste for something that I hadn't had a taste for in a very long time, something sweet. And so a craving that I had not had in a long time. So that's something that I did not realize that having your gut bacteria wiped out can do that. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the weaker immunity. So I'm concerned, of course, with catching something or getting sick or something like that while my immune system is compromised. So that is a big concern. So another thing is a saltwater rinse. So somebody, I think it was G Brown, that suggested to me to rinse the eyes out with saline. And I was like, who put salt in your eye? I was like, no, I just didn't think it was a good idea. But you can do a saline wash for your eyes and nose. So that is something that you can keep in mind, is that you can do a saltwater rinse. And I think next time I would try a lot of homeopathic type of things before I take an antibiotic. So, I feel like even though I took the antibiotic and it did help, it was so harsh that I don't know that I would want to ever do it again. I don't ever want to have to take another antibiotic because I've had experiences in the past where I took an antibiotic, and antibiotic always led to like a yeast infection, a yeast overgrowth. And so I have not had that happen yet, and I hope it doesn't, but that's been my experience in the past. I think this particular antibiotic that I took this time, I don't remember having ever taken this particular one before, which was clindamycin, I think is the name of it. And so I've never taken it before that I can recall. But it was super strong. It was super strong. So, and maybe it just felt that way too, because I have not had to take an antibiotic for such a very, very long time. And I don't, I don't know. I don't think I would take it again. So, how am I going to recover from this antibiotic on carnivore? I did have to take it. I did take it. And I did not think of all of the many things that I could have done. Like, what could I have done differently before I took it? So now that I already took it, it's like, okay, so what am I going to do? So I'm continuing on with my carnivore way of eating, of course. That is the main thing. And then, so high fat meats, eating and using the beef tallow. I almost ate a stick of butter today, you guys. I'm not really like huge on eating a whole stick of butter, but today was my daughter's birthday. She turned 31, and we went to the Chinese food buffet. And so whenever we go there, I get it's like a hibachi grill. So you can get all your vegetables and you get all your meats and everything, and you put it together and they cook it on a griddle. And so I get that, but I just get the meats and then I ask them to cook it without any of that butter that they use, because that is like I'm sure that it's margarine. When I look at it, every time I look at it, I feel like it's not melting and it's sitting right next to a high heat appliance. So, so it's not melting. So it's definitely not butter. So what I did was I stopped at the grocery store on my way to lunch, and I got butter and I just had them melt it for me. And I poured it all over this meat that I had. So it had shrimp and chicken and beef. And I just poured the butter all on top of that. It was so, so good. But I'm typically not going to eat butter like that, because butter it's triggering for me for my eczema if I eat too much of it. So, but in today's case, I almost ate a whole stick of butter, and it was really good. So beef tallow, butter, and fatty cuts will be the focus of this time, trying to make sure that I get my guts back in order. Bone broth is something that I need to make. So I'll probably be putting out a video about how I'm going to make this bone broth over the next couple of days, because bone broth is really good for the gut. And so I'm going to be making some of that. Continuing with my electrolytes and hydration, making sure that I'm getting plenty of liquids and fluids, flushing out whatever is left of that antibiotic that may be in my system. I want to go ahead and flush that out. And then, of course, as I mentioned, I'm doing intermittent fasting. So it says here that even a short 16 to 24 hour fast can help the gut recover faster. Well, I'm fasting every day, at least 16 hours. And so in the month of March, I'm amping that back up to 18 to 24 hours. And, that should help my gut recover faster. And then I know that, let's see. Oh, so Tara is saying here that she didn't have an antibiotic since 2020. That's good. I mean, I think we should avoid it at all costs, because it takes a lot. I mean, if I think about what I went through to get my gut to transition, after I went off of keto and Cheeto, well, I call it Cheeto because I was doing so much cheating that I really wasn't keto. My gut took, it took a lot. Like I said, 30 days straight before my gut was transitioned enough that I was having a normal bathroom experience. So, and Tara's saying that one of the things that may prevent you from getting a yeast infection is your carnivore diet that was already in place. Right. Yeah. So I'm glad that if I had to take it, and I can't say that I actually had to take it, but I did take it. So I'm glad that I am a carnivore, having taken that. And then, of course, Candida, we know that Candida feeds on sugar. So no sugar. Hopefully they won't overgrow. Hopefully they won't grow at all. So that's what I'm really, really hoping for, because dealing with Candida is not fun. So, we know that there are cases for antibiotics for sure. I mean, I'm sure that there are good, valid reasons for taking them. I felt like this eye thing worried me so much that I went ahead and took it without thinking too much about it in advance. I was concerned about it, but I went ahead and took it anyway. And they have side effects. And I really felt the effects when I saw my daughter at praise team rehearsal on Thursday. I'm like, I call her Boxy. Her name is Ariana. I call her Boxy. Boxy, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this antibiotic. And she's like, yeah, that happens. It does happen. They wipe out all of your good and bad bacteria. It impacts your digestion. So I did not feel good after that. It affects your immunity. It affects your energy. And just the fact that I was out and about, in the public today, there was a lot of people at that Chinese food buffet today. It was packed. So I was like, my gosh, wow, everybody's back out again or something. So, just being around all those people is a little bit concerning. We need to be super intentional about recovery. So Tara's on here and she's been talking to me about L-reuteri yogurt for to help get that gut microbiome back in position. So that's something that I am going to be doing. I think it's coming to me soon. So as soon as it's here, I'll make it. I'll make a video. You guys will get a chance to see how I'm making that L-reuteri yogurt. And I will be using that to try to get that gut microbiome back on track again. So also with the high fat, fatty meats, bone broth, electrolytes, and continuing on with my fasting. And then, of course, as we're going on, those natural remedies are something to think about. And I'm sure there are others besides the ones that I mentioned today, as far as, remedies that you can use if you are having something that's like a bacterium that needs to be addressed through an antibiotic. So colloidal silver is really good. And I'm so shocked at myself. As a matter of fact, my friend was mentioning it. She's like, what about colloidal silver? And it just went right over my head and didn't even register to me. Like, right, colloidal silver is really, really good for things like this and probably could have prevented me from having to take that antibiotic. And then essential oils. Some say like honey is really good. So honey, what is it? Manuka. That Manuka honey is supposed to be really good. It's good for wound healing, for eye infections and sore throats. I don't have any honey in my house, particularly Manuka honey, but that might have been something that I could try as well. And then another one is fermented foods. So I don't usually eat the foods that would be fermented, like what am I trying to think about? Cabbage. What do they call that? Somebody tell me, what do they call it when you ferment the cabbage? Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut. Yeah. So like sauerkraut, even let me think. Give me some ideas of other fermented foods that you guys use. Like, is kimchi fermented? I'm thinking that it is. So, fermented foods might be good to get that gut back in shape again too. I'm not planning to incorporate any of that right now. I just don't eat any vegetables right now. And I haven't reincorporated any fermented foods yet. But when the yogurt comes, I'm going to have that. So that is one thing that I will be having. So Simpson is asking a question. Isn't that only going to be useful if you do dairy, since it's a type of lactobacterium? Can you restate your question, Simpson? Like, isn't what only going to be useful if you do dairy? I don't do very much dairy. I'm trying my best to stay away from dairy as much as I can. because I'm having issues. Like I said, if I have too much butter, I will have an eczema flare up. If I have too much cheese, specific types of cheese, that will cause an eczema flare up. If I have too much heavy cream, which is not very much heavy cream at all, I will have a flare up of my eczema. So I'm so bummed about this, you guys. This is something that is like so devastating to me, like that it's the dairy that causes me problems. But I know that a lot of people with eczema struggle with dairy. Like dairy is a big problem for a lot of people that have eczema. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes with the yogurt once I get a chance to try it. So I'm really looking forward to having that because I really want to get this gut back in order. Y'all, it is not fun. It is not fun to go from carnivore poops to any other kind of poops. It's hard to come into a carnivore chat and never talk about poop. I'm sorry. I almost talk about poop every single time we talk. But because it's so important and it's such a big part of your life if it doesn't work like it's supposed to, right? So Tara's saying if you get over your milk issues, then also kefir. So that's something that I have never tried. Or is it kefir or is it kefir? Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like I think it's a yogurt type of a thing. And Terry's here. Hey, Terry. I'm so glad that you dropped in. Tara says that the L. reuteri yogurt is only going to be a half cup to regulate my system. I hope I don't overeat it because I haven't had anything like that in a long time. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Tara's saying it could be processed dairy. So I have never had raw dairy because I can't get it in my area. I have looked into it a couple of times, trying to get raw milk, and like raw cheese. I wonder if any of the health food stores around this area might carry a raw cheese or something like that. I should look. I'll take a look for that and see if I can find it. But yeah, I've never had raw dairy because it could be the processing of the dairy that is causing me such a problem. So Simpson is saying that L. reuteri is a lactobacterium. So it will only be useful if you need help digesting milk. So my purpose for using it is to help to repopulate my gut microbiome after having to take an antibiotic. I don't know if you came in when I was talking about having to take that antibiotic for my eye. I had like an infection in my eye this past week, and it was just, my daughter is a PA and she prescribed it for me. So I went ahead and took it. But after taking it, I thought, I don't ever want to have to do that again. It's so harsh. It's so harsh. So so that's something that I'm not looking to do again. I want to find other options, other homeopathic ways of healing. And so I know that there are other ways to heal yourself, food being a major one of them. I was so surprised that happened. I really actually thought that it was like the weather change. Even though I know that like I have not really had too much issue with seasonal allergies. Last year, about this time, when the weather changed a little bit, my eyes did swell. And so I was like, maybe that's happening again. And it's a thing that I've dealt with all my life, basically, with the swelling my eyes when the seasonal allergies hit. And so as soon as I saw those birds, I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely seasonal allergies. But then it started to hurt, and I was like, okay, so something else is going on there. And so I took an antibiotic, and I felt so much. I'm calling it cognitive dissonance. I was like, I don't like the fact that I fell back on taking an antibiotic. And so that is something that I'm hoping that I never have to do that again. I think I would have to be pretty sick because I think I'll remember this like, oh my gosh, that was super, super harsh and it didn't feel very good to take it. Although I do appreciate my daughter being able to see me and take care of me, there's got to be some other way that I can do this that's more holistic. So, yes, Tara's going to send me a link to talk about the L-reuteri. And I know like there have been Indigo Neely was doing a whole series on the L-reuteri yogurt for her gut a few years back. And so if I can find her series, I'll try to drop that also in the description box so you guys can take a look at that series. She was making it and talking about it a lot a few years back, and I never really thought about it because the issues that she was having, I wasn't having. But now I want to get this gut back in good working order. I want to get my microbiome repopulated with the proper bacteria and not get no yeast overgrowth and all of that kind of thing. So Tara, if you can send me that link, that would be really, really good. And I will put it in the description box and we'll make sure that everybody gets a chance to see it. So that is it regarding that's pretty much it regarding the antibiotic. It was just awful. I would not want to do it again. Hey, hanging with the Browns. Hey, cruise life people. Good to see you guys. Thank y'all for popping in. Appreciate you. So again, my friend, listen to your friends. Like if your friends are saying to you something, like they were telling me in my Marco Polo group, she said it twice. Her name's Terry, and I think she's here tonight. She said, "What about colloidal silver?" And I said, and it just passed right over my head. She said it a couple of times, and I'm like, and I know about colloidal silver because I've used it before when I'm sweating, y'all. When I had a candida overgrowth. So I already knew that colloidal silver is absolutely amazing. So that's the thing. Listen to your friends and don't just let the stuff go in one ear and out the other ear. And what is my friend saying to me? Do not eat cheese. All right. I'm not going to eat no cheese. My intention for the month does not include cheese in the month of March. Now, see why y'all got to come for me like that? Because now I got to come clean and say I had cheese yesterday. I did. I want to tell y'all because y'all be coming for me. Now, in the Marco Polo group, they're going to be getting me. But I did have cheese yesterday, but I'm not having any more cheese this entire month. I will not have cheese. I promise. I'm not going to have cheese. Oh my gosh. Look at these guys talking about me with this cheese, y'all. I'm telling you, I almost feel like a cheeseless life is not worth living. Lord have mercy. I love cheese. Like no blue cheese. The one cheese that really, really gives me a problem is mozzarella. Don't get me, G. Don't get me. I did. I had cheese yesterday. Don't come for me. But yeah, so I'm not going to have any more cheese this month. That's it. That was my one time for the month. I struggle with it. This is a problem. So I'm going to have to do the sober lifestyle like Dr. Lisa Wiedemann talks about and put cheese inside the red circle. Like cheese is going to have to go inside the red circle because I cannot have it. And I keep trying it. And when I try it, I suffer the consequences because cheese causes my eczema to flare. Yes, it does. And so basically, she said, cheese is crack for you. And you know how many times you have said that this year? I said, I'm not having any more this month, okay? I'm not going to have any more this month, you guys. I promise. Y'all watch me. I'm going to tell you. If I do it, I definitely will tell you because I am like, I'm not a person who can just hold a secret. I don't know. I can't hold it. Can't hold water. So they said never, never again. I can't promise you that it's going to be never again. Okay, G wants me to tell y'all about the gravy. So that day, the day I made my gravy, and if you guys have seen that gravy up on my channel, I just posted it a few days ago. It's like cube steak with gravy, and it's absolute fire. It's so good. So good. I think it would be really good with Chris Cooking Nashville mashed potatoes. That's just a suggestion. But that morning, I was like, oh, look at me. I'm having scrambled eggs. I'm not having cheese. I didn't put any cheese in it, you guys. Yay. I was telling all my Marco Polo friends. So then at dinner time, I come back and I say, look at you guys. I'm making this gravy. I made this gravy with cream cheese. What do you think my friends said? They ribbed me to death, y'all. They ribbed me. They got me. They came for me because cream cheese has cheese in the name of the product. It was so good. I said it like it wasn't cheese because it wasn't in my mind. I was like, that's not cheese. Cream cheese is not cheese. But yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So anyway, that was funny. And they got me. They got me. And I ate the cheese, you guys. I ate the cheese, but I promise I'm not having no more cheese this month because I want to try to stop with this eczema. So it is a trigger for me. And so inside the red circle it goes. I can't have it anymore. I'm going to have to do Dr. Lisa Wiedemann's carb sober protocol around cheese and put it inside the red circle. It's so hard because I literally love cheese. It's like one of my favorite things. And cheese is also highly addictive because of the casomorphines, right? So it's very, very addictive. And so I have not, she's right. It is like crack because it is like highly, highly addictive. And so for those of us who are susceptible to that, um, we just have to abstain. So I have to be an abstainer. And y'all know that my philosophy is the only cure for addiction is abstinence. And so that is my philosophy. So I'm going to have to chill out on the cheese 100%. Um, if cheese is in the name and it acts like cheese, it's probably cheese. Yes. Hey, Sandra, you're right. It's cheese. I know. I know I shouldn't have came in there talking to y'all about that. I shouldn't have come into the Marco Polo group talking to y'all about that cheese that I was eating. It was so good. But you guys, I have a thought about a gravy that does not have cheese. So look for that. It's going to be coming up soon. It will be completely dairy free and be thick and rich and delicious, just like the one that I just made. So that's going to be coming up soon. All right, you guys, we're at 43 minutes, and I want to make sure that you guys are aware that a couple of things I wanted to mention. So, first of all, Hey Sister Girl will be back tomorrow night at 7:00 p.m. Eastern, 6:00 p.m. Central. And so we would love to see you over there at Hey Sister Girl. We always have a great show for you guys. Come and see me and G and Denitra tomorrow night. And we will be back for another amazing episode of Hey Sister Girl. And then I wanted to mention to you guys that coming up at the end of the month, all roads are leading to Memphis. So let me share this screen. We're going to be in Memphis, and I'm super excited. Let's see if I can make it bigger. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yes, this one. So we're going to be in Memphis for the Well Informed Women Win. I'm calling this a symposium, but it's a no nonsense health and healing experience. And this is hosted by our metabolic health practitioner, Denitra Davis, and her husband, Sam. And then our two guest physicians are going to be Dr. Tony Hampton and Dr. Ken Berry. We're going to have breakfast and lunch. And then look who's going to be there, y'all. Yeah, the Hey Sister Girl crew is going to be on the scene. So not just G and I, but a lot of ladies from our Marco Polo group are going to be there as well. And so this is sponsored by Nutritional Knowledge. So come on and join us. This post is up in my community tab. And come on and meet me there. I would love to see you guys in Memphis for Well Informed Women Win. One other thing I want to mention is that we are doing a movement challenge for the month of March. It's Metabolic March, Movement March, March Madness, all the things, right? So you can join us on the Challenges app, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Challenges is the name of the app. And you don't have to be a lady to join this challenge, okay? Let's see if I can see it without. Okay, here's how it looks. It's a little green right there. That is the Challenges app right there. So go to your app store and download that, and I will drop in the code for you guys to join this challenge. And we would love to see you in there. Come on and join us. Be on the leaderboard for 14,400 steps a day for the month of March. It is time, you guys. It's time to get ready to get your beach body on. Summer is coming. Have you been chilling out? Have you been sitting around all winter? It's time to get moving, get that movement going, increase your movement. And so we want to make sure that you know that this right here, movement is medicine. Yes, 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 yes. So make sure that you're moving. And let's go ahead and get started. Today's only the second of the month. So it's time to get moving. It is time to get moving. So what is G saying? This is to let folks know that we take the time to find out what's working for us. But you know this is not working for you. We got to love ourselves more. That's right. That's right. I have been working for 2 years to find my formula for what works for me as far as this way of eating is concerned. And I'm finding out. I'm finding out that dairy is not a thing that serves me well. It just really, really doesn't. As much as I want it to, and I want it to be part of my life, I realize that I am struggling with the dairy part of it. So I had already removed the heavy cream. Even if I put a tablespoon of heavy cream in my coffee, my eczema flares. I'm so sensitive to things now that it doesn't even take an hour for something to show up on my skin if it does not serve me. So those things are things that I need to remove. And I'm just going to have to put it in the red circle. It's okay. I can do it. I can do it. You guys know that I can, and I will. All right, you guys, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope to see you tomorrow night for Hey Sister Girl. And thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.